Hi everyone, it's T with T's Custom Holsters. We're just going to do a step-by-step video on how we make this inside the waistband holster here. We use .06 Kydex, and we're going to put a 1.75 inside the waistband belt clip on there. We're going to make the holster for the Glock 42. We have a multi-mold Pro model holster mold right here that we're going to use. We use blue guns and we prep them ourselves. You can see we have the acrylic top that we glue onto the top there, and we also use JB Weld high heat for the extraction port. And here's the final look of it. We just put a piece of 3M tape over top of that after it dries, and we sand it down. But today, just to make it easy, we're going to use the multi-mold holster prepped gun. Okay, so we have our .06 Kydex, and what he's doing right here is just making marks on the Kydex. Notice that we are going with the grain of the Kydex. The grain of the Kydex actually goes this way. We do that just for durability of the holster, plus it just gives you a nice solid fit. So he made his marks, and now he's just getting ready to cut the piece of Kydex out. Now that the Kydex is cut to size, he's just going to trace around the gun just so that when it comes out of the oven, he knows exactly where it needs to go. We have here our Hamilton Beach toaster oven. We purchased this from Walmart. I believe it was probably around $90 for this oven. It's a very large oven. We can put very large pieces of Kydex inside of it. We have it preheated to approximately 400 degrees. We don't go by this temperature. We use the infrared thermometer that you see right there. He's going to go ahead and put the piece of Kydex in there, and we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes, and we're going to periodically check the temperature. We want to get the Kydex up to 350 degrees. While that Kydex is in the oven, I just wanted to show you our press that we made. We purchased the foam from knifekits.com. It's your standard Kydex foam, and we just handmade our foam press. If you're interested on how we made that, just email me, t@tsholsters.com. And here we have our clamp already set up that we'll use for when the Kydex is ready. Right now we're just going to use the infrared thermometer to check the temperature of the Kydex. Right now we're at 314 degrees, and like I said, we want to get this up to right around 340 to 350 for that perfect definition. So our Kydex got up to 350 degrees. He is putting it inside the foam press. He already has his markings of where it needs to go. He's going to stretch that Kydex really tight and make sure he has a good press down onto the Kydex and the mold. This has been sitting in the press for probably about 10 minutes now. It should be good to go. He's going to unclamp it, and we'll take a look at it. And right there we have a perfect form. So we brought the formed Kydex over to the drawing table. We've taken our holster mold out of there, and we're going to go ahead and draw the profile of our holster. Keep in mind, this is where you can become creative and design your holster. we used to have templates that helped us during this process, but we've been doing it so long that we pretty much can do it with our eyes closed right now. And every one of our holsters come out looking the same. So here's our rough sketch of what the profile of the holster will look like. Next, we're going to use our Craftsman bandsaw to go ahead and make the cuts on our Kydex. This is the piece that we just cut out, and as you can see, we get pretty close to the line, but not on the line. That way we have some room to work with when we do the profile of the holster. Next, we'll be using our Craftsman belt sander to make the profile of the holster and get closer to the line. Once we are done sanding down the edges, we're just going to take a knife and take out a lot of the Kydex that it's built up on the inside of the holster. Now we are back at the drawing table, and we are going to draw our line and get our holes marked up for our clip. We're using a DIY holsters spacer, and we use that spacer to mark out where our holes are going to be. Now we're going to take our piece over to our Craftsman drill press, and we're going to drill out the 2 holes for the clip. Now that the holes are drilled, we're going to remount the holes just to make sure that all the rough edges are off of them. Then we're going to put the rivets inside the holes of the holster, and we're going to use our arbor press that we purchased from knifekits.com and our dies from knifekits.com. Next, we're going to take our holster over to our buffing wheels. We have a series of buffing wheels to get the rough edges off all the way down to a nice cloth to get a nice shine on our edges. Okay, now that our edges are polished up, we're going to go ahead and mark our holes for our clip. We went ahead and drilled out our holes and cut the inside the waistband clip, rounded the edges off. Our next step is we're going to add our Vibrotite, also known as a Loctite, for our 1/2-inch screws. Okay, there you have it. Here's the finished product of our inside the waistband Glock 42 holster made by T's Custom Holsters. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Give us a call. Check out our website at www.tsholsters.com.